By the way, ladies and gentlemen, loud doesn't impress me. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. With respect to the location of this project, there are plenty of people who live in and around that vicinity right now. They are not banished to Siberia. They live in Wareham. They're Wareham residents. They drive. People who reside in this facility will drive. They're only going to be 55 or older. I intend to drive in 4 more years. I intend to be working in 4 more years. I'm not working now. I'm working for free right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, as I said before, please don't.
75% of this property will remain open space. We're only consuming 25%. We will continue to provide open space. The ball fields up there, 3 of them, are not being maintained by the town. We don't have the money. Our municipal maintenance department does what it can, but we do not in the budget have money to provide for that, for those recreational ball fields. We're out of money. We're in a fiscal crisis, and this project will return tremendous tax benefits to us. $175,000 a year, net of excise, water, sewer, any of that. $175,000 in the first 5 years. That's a 38% rate of return. If we take $500,000 worth of CPC funds, $340,000 for the next 15 years. That's over a 70% return on our money. Our risk money is out of this deal in less than 3 years. This is a good business decision for us, and it provides sorely needed, yes, affordable housing. $500, there's not enough units. Let me
wrap it up, please. Your 2 minutes have expired, but there was some response, so I'm going to give you a little more time, but please wrap it up.
Thank you very much. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Lady to my right.
Yes. My name is Yolanda Young. I'm 71 years old. I've put in application after application for affordable housing. I'm 125 on the list. 5 years to wait. I'm going nowhere until I saw an ad in the paper, beautiful community in Lakeville. I am moving this weekend into a beautiful place in Lakeville. Wareham doesn't want me. Thank you.
FinCom member, please.
My name is Donna Brock, and I was one of the FinCom people that voted against this proposal and voted to put it off because of its reasoning. And I personally have devoted 35 years of my life to affordable housing, so I have a passion for affordable housing. However, I too have talked with residents at Agawam, at Red Brook. People should not have to live in deferred maintenance. They love the areas they live in. They have said, you want to put us out to Westfield, you might as well move us to Carver. Now, okay, you can drive now, but anything can happen, and in most senior developments, a lot of folks come in and they're driving, but within a year, 5 years, 10 years, they can't drive. And having to put them in a situation that they have to depend on public transportation, I think is unfair. And I do think that people that have been involved in this decision, there are plenty of experts in this town in the housing business themselves. They should have been a little bit more proactive in getting folks involved. And I truly believe that this location is not conducive to the senior population. Thank you.
Gentleman to my right.
Thank you. My name is Tony Gonsalves. I'm in voting District 5. At first it sounded like a great idea, but I'm over 70 years old too, over 71. What I see up there, and I need a clarification to make sure that I know what I'm voting for. What I see up there says, I am voting under Article 2 to authorize the Board of Selectmen to lease this property and to lease it for the purpose of development of senior residents. Now, if that's true, I don't think it's such a great idea because, I mean, if I can't depend on the Finance Committee in this town, I'm in deep trouble. And the chairman of the Finance Committee stood up and said he did not have enough information presented that he could make a decision. And he still hasn't got it. Or he's got it late, and now I'm hearing a second person on the Finance Committee say it. And so I'm afraid to vote anything close to yes here because you're going to hurry up, you're going to lease this property with the purpose of putting senior housing there. And I'm not sure this is the best location in the town either. I wouldn't want to live there. And, you know, we worry about sign of the times, how much we're going to make. Well, according to the Finance Committee, I heard them say that we're not making as much as people are saying that we're going to make. That concerns me, the finances. And the second thing that concerns me is the location. I think it's not anywhere near where I would want to live as a senior. And just, Mr. Donovan, make sure that I understand this. We are voting. I'm voting on this for the allow the town to lease the property for the purpose of senior housing.
Well, that's partially correct. What's before us right now is an amendment for indefinite postponement. Depending on whether that's voted up or down,
Right.
it may come back to the body, as you asked the question, to authorize the Board of Selectmen to enter into
Okay.
negotiations and agreement to lease the property in
Okay.
perpetuity.
Okay. So if I vote yes on the amendment, that means I'm voting no on Article 2 right now.
That's
property for the purpose of senior housing.
Well, that's partially correct. What's before us right now is an amendment for indefinite postponement. Depending on whether that's voted up or down,
Right.
it may come back to the body, as you asked the question, to authorize the Board of Selectmen to enter into
Okay.
negotiations and agreement to lease the property in
Okay.
perpetuity.
Okay. So if I vote yes on the amendment, that means I'm voting no on Article 2 right now. Is
That's
that
correct. That's
Thank
correct.
you very much.
Member of the FinCom.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Dan Cheever, Precinct 3. I'm a member of the Finance Committee who initially was opposed to and a little confused by the various ideas on this project, but after going to several of the public hearings, after hearing Mr. Heaton several times, after reading the material we did eventually get, nobody's fault that it wasn't available when we had to take our vote, I've become a very strong proponent in favor of the project. This is an emotional issue, judging from the tone of the meeting, so I'll quote Isaiah, "Come, let us reason together," and try and answer briefly some of the concerns that have been raised by my colleague, our very good chair. Some seniors may prefer to stay at Agawam. That's fine. There are plenty of other seniors on the waiting list who've said they'd like to move to Westfield. Renovate Agawam? Absolutely. Needs it. But that's a different source of funding. It's state funding, it's not local funding, and it's not private investors. The cost of rentals is open to negotiation with the developers through the committee the Board of Selectmen plans to appoint, and with the expert guidance of Mr. Heaton. This is all still negotiable. We're just asking for a chance to talk further. Net tax revenue. Yes, a Wareham resident who moves to this new housing won't be adding to the tax base, but that person will be vacating a dwelling which may well accept a new resident into the town who will add to the total tax revenue. We are adding to the town's housing stock. That adds to the town's property tax revenue. As to the title and purposes of the deed originally, I am not a lawyer, praise be to God. I will, however, defer to those who are. And with all due respect, I don't think any of us who is not skilled in title and tax law